next jobs is try and figure out more about this downpipe to meet my decat. Obviously I don't really need that bung anymore, but I can easily plug that. But my plan is to do something temporary, so I'm going to just cut off this flange here and obviously take this off, the whole thing off, and just see what kind of pipe I need making to make these two one. I can obviously move the exhaust a bit, not a great deal, but a bit. Probably down a bit as well, but up would probably be best for me. And then this is on a flexi, so that can move a tiny bit. So it's quite a stiff flexi. If you can see that, not an awful lot of movement. So let's take this off, cut this off, and have a look. That bit's been cut off on the floor there. I'll just smooth this all off here now, so I'm not going to cut myself on it. And then let's see, for a start, what diameter we're working with. So here we have around 2.5 inch, and I believe on the downpipe we have got 3 inch. Let's have a look. On the downpipe it's 3 inch, so 2.5 to 3 inch, and I think that's all 2.5 inch back there as well. So it will be a bit of a restriction. It's a real Mickey Mouse way of doing it, but what you can see is that's actually closer to 2.25. So the whole thing is going to be a bit of a, that thing's closer to 2.25, so it's going to be a bit of a step down. So 3 inch, 2.5, 2.25. That exhaust is actually a bit small for this, but it'll only restrict us probably at high RPM. Hard to show you underneath, but it basically needs to be 13 centimeters longer than it is now, and go from 2.5 to 3 inch. And luckily I know someone will be able to do that. That'll get the car on the road for now. Also I'm going to need to bung up this lambda, so I'm not using a secondary lambda. So just got the screamer pipe just tacked up in place. You see it's going that side of the traction bar now. Just going to take it off. Then I need to do a M8 by 1.25 tap in the side of the turbine housing, because one of the bolts, as I took out the downpipe, kind of messed itself up. So right at the bottom of the thread you can see that's a piece of the thread that broke off, and so that's what made it a real difficult thing to get this M8 by 1.25 out. You can see I've had to maul the end of it so you can get this thing out. Now I just need to use that tap, just to tap the turbine housing, just to make sure that thread's nice for my new bolts, which are going to be these. These are from something called Mamba. I've got these, see they're studs, not bolts, and at least then the studs stay in, and you just put the nuts in there. So that should give me a chance of getting this downpipe on and off again, because putting bolts in wasn't exactly the best plan ever. It's just what came with the kit. And definitely cap heads, as soon as it starts rounding you are in some trouble. I actually managed to bang the end of the Allen further in a little bit and it managed to get it out, but I was very lucky. So not using them anymore, just going to use these studs, see how we get on. So take off that screamer pipe and then just wind these in, and you can see there's two sides of them. There's the side that's longer, which is facing outwards, and the side that threads into the turbine housing, which is shorter. So just put them in. Use that tap and then all that filth came out. I just used the WD-40 and then sprayed that hole out, and that was just using that straw, and you can see all that crap that came out the thread. Right now I can just put those studs in. All 5 of the studs wound in. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get the bottom one in, because it goes right next to the actual downpipe itself. Got the gasket here. You can see that's where it's made black by blocking off the internal wastegate. And I'll just place that on there, and then I'll jack the car up. I'll just see if I can pop that on there and get a nut on it. If not, I'm going to have to lose this bottom stud and just use that bolt I was using before. All the studs in. The bottom one's actually a 13mm nuts, because I couldn't get the double hex 10mm spanner in there, just 'cause it's too close. But there they are, and you can see at the end of it you've got an Allen as well, so you can tighten those studs into the block before you put the nuts on. Either way, that's all done now. Just put the screamer pipe on now and drop the car down. So I'll screamer pipe and everything in place. and all of those done up. And it's nice having those double star 10 mils because it really gets a good purchase on them, so you won't round them off, unlike these Allens. So I'm going to get probably another set so I can actually replace all the Allens with the double hex. This is the decat I was talking about. That's 2.5 inch there. So I just need to figure out how much I need to take off this and the angle and stuff like that. I can get this whole thing welded up. And this is just a little M18 bung for the lambda sensor I no longer need, so that can just get screwed in there. So I've just underneath the car, noticed a little drip drip from the bottom radiator hose. I need to tighten that or possibly replace that connection there. Then further back I've got no oil leaks, which is really nice to report from either the oil filter, which from that sandwich plate was leaking a bit, and from my old sump it was leaking none of that. Now the only little leak I've got, I think, is from a transmission seal. So this side transmission seal. So I need to order another one of those, and then next time I have that drive shaft out, I'll just pop a new seal there. I think it's only from this passenger side or left side, because basically there's nothing coming out of the other side, so it's just this side. So I'll make sure I order one of them. And then anyway, job in hand, this is how it's going to be. So that's 2.5 inch there, and that leads back to the rest of the system. And then you can see there's a bit of a gap here, but not much of one. I just need to order some more 3-inch pipe, cut it down, mark it all up, and then I'll be able to you know, get it all welded up. So let's just hold that better there. You can see what I'm doing there, just a little pie cut, that's all I need. And then that will join the downpipe to this little 3-inch to 2.5 to the decat pipe that's already had a few welds in, because that was just welded there and there, and then that goes to the rest of the system. So that'll be quite nice. So yeah, I just need to do that. And finally I have this, which is the can move it around a bit. This is actually the screamer pipe, and I think it would just be a little bit nicer if I had a little more length in that. So I'd like to have, I don't know, a couple of centimetres more, just to take it past the traction bar. So I'm just going to measure that pipe and order a bit more, and then cut some and mark it up and get it welded. So here we have it. This is the 3-inch to 2.5 inch. I've just taped it onto the decat pipe because that's where it's going to get welded. And what you can see is that I don't have too much more to do. I just basically need to push this a little bit. Both of these move. This is obviously on a flexi, so that can move a bit, but I just need to see how much material I need and make a little pie cut. So making the pie cut, I've got the 3-inch pipe here. All I need is a 5mm on top and 15mm on the bottom, and I'm going to make 2 diagonal cuts, one like that and one like that. Obviously I'm going to place it better in the vise for that. I'm just showing you what I'm going to do, and that way hopefully we'll have the right bit which will fit the car. So we have it, it's closer to 6mm than 18mm, but see how it fits up, and then I can just finesse it. Alright, I can't hold the whole thing together, but I've drawn some stripes around the whole thing, and you're going to have to trust me that the whole thing fits pretty well together. I'm going to have to take the whole thing off and then show you what it looks like, but I've got the tape on the back. This fits something like that. I really can't do it with just one hand, but I think it's all going to work. I'll just take it off the car now. So this is just the decat, the 2.5 to 3-inch in this little pie cut, and you can see I've put little marks on it. I think it's ready to pretty much get welded. You obviously need a little bit of tapping in and finessing, but it's pretty much there, pretty much the right size, and I'm sure that's going to work pretty nicely. And then I can just get the downpipe and put it on there as well, and it just all get welded into one piece finally. Look what we have here. It's the exhaust all welded up, and that's the screen pipe, and I put it on the car now. The exhaust, and I've got to say, considering that
it was me who cut all the pipes and marked them up, and admittedly I got someone else to weld it, but it fits so nicely, and hardly took me to bend the flexi at all to fix it. It was almost like a centimetre of at that end where the joint is to just bend that around. So that's absolutely perfect. I'm very happy with that. I've just tightened the bolts up here on the turbo, and I've just tightened that Allen there. I just got to do the bolts at the back, and then I'm just going to stick the wideband lambda in and see how it sounds. Right, screamer pipe's in. I'll show you where it exits on the floor, and the wideband lambda's in. And this is where it exits. You can just see there, not hitting anything, and it can't hit anything as well because on the travel it won't actually touch it. So there we go, drop it on the ground now, let's see what it sounds like. Right, so the first time I'm going to start the car with this new exhaust, put the bonnet down. There we have it. So just idling away. Be quiet. Not too bad. Obviously I'm going to let it warm up, and then I'll give you a little blast of what it sounds like with revving when I'm stationary. So that's warmed up a bit. Don't worry, it's not as cold as all that. It's just gone to the second bar, and that's pretty much as hot as it ever gets on here, unless I've got issues. So there we go. So inside the car,